Excuse me while I drink from the Isle of Man cup. Alright, I've done that bit, mediums and fallen angels, the way they tell you that your dead relatives are talking to you, right? So you covered, oh yeah, right, a figure in a bathroom, a figure in my bedroom when I was younger, right? Now this was weird, right? I don't know how to explain this, but I did see a kind of ghost, right? And I did wind up my mates and stuff when I was younger and do some practical jokes and things like, but this is bona fide, genuine, true story, right? I was asleep in the early hours in my bed when I was a kid, when I was about, I don't know, I think it was about 12, 13, I'm not sure. But in the same house where we had all these rats and all that kind of stuff. You know, because they come from a poor background, guys. I wasn't rich enough, and I came from actual, you know, we wasn't loaded enough, and I came from a humble background, yeah. And I was asleep in the early hours, and back in them days, me and my brother used to share the bedroom, and his bed was on one side of the room, my bed was on the other side of the room, and I was in deep sleep, guys. Right, I was actually in deep sleep. You know when you're actually well away dreaming or whatever, and nothing can wake you up in that way. And I remember being lying down in my bed asleep, just oblivious, right? And for whatever reason, I just went, something made me wake up immediately. I jumped up and stared across the room, just looked straight at it. And I seen like what looked like a woman, a figure, standing in the bedroom. Like a ghostly, like an almost white, I could see it was a woman, but it wasn't like, you know, you couldn't distinguish features and nothing like that, but it was definitely a woman, you know what I mean? Standing in, sort of, in between, at the end of the beds in the middle, at the end of the, you know, at the other side of the room, like. And I was like, completely silenced, like, completely, like, staring at it with my two eyes, thinking, what am I looking at there, right? And then, it just went like smoke into the ceiling. She just kind of went up like smoke. That's the only way I can describe it, like, or plasma or whatever. What did he call it? Ectoplasm, I think they call it in the, you know, in the business, like, you know. But she just went up into the ceiling, right? And I was watching this, clear as a bell, you know what I mean? I was just watching it, like she disappeared into the ceiling. Now, I think it's a dimension or something, you know what I mean? I don't know how to explain that one, like. Right, and then I thought I was imagining it, right? She went up into the ceiling and then she was gone. And of course I'm shitting bricks basically in my bed thinking, and I looked at my brother to see if he was awake to say like, did you see anything there? And he was like well out the game, asleep, right? So I just looked up like, and I'm thinking, well, it's gone, and I might have been imagining it, right? So I lay down again to go back to sleep, right? And I closed my eyes and was like, trying to get back to sleep and trying to put it on my head, thinking, I'm just imagining that, like, you know what I mean? But just as I was starting to, like, sort of, you know, get comfortable to the thought that, like, I was imagining that. I must have been dreaming or half dreaming, like. I heard a woman's laugh go from, you know, when you put like a pair of headphones on and it's a stereo effect and it goes from one ear to the other. I heard a female sort of go, ha ha ha, like go across my head, like, oh, I was eerie, like, you know what I mean? And it chilled me and everything. I got like a chill and everything, like. And she laughed like and went past me. I went through my ears, you know. So I sat up again, looked back, thinking, oh shit, she hasn't come back again. But there was no one there. You know what I mean? There was nothing there. I didn't see that thing again. But I definitely, oh man, she cast it into my head. Like she projected a voice through my head, through my ears, from left to right. So it just went, right. I don't know what that was, I don't know who it was, or who she was, or what it was, but I know it was quite eerie, like, you know what I mean? Right, so that's another, you know, experience. Had anyone out there wants to give me any feedback on that and say what you think, like, have you ever seen anything like that where, you know, I don't know what dimension I was looking at there, but it was like she wanted me to see her. Do you know what I mean? That's what the weird thing was, like, she wanted me to see her, like. Okay. A cup moving on a table. When I was about I've been to Wales anyway. I've been to Wales back in '94 or something, and I bought, you see this like souvenir from the Isle of Man. It was like it's one of these kind of things from Wales, right? And I was with my ex-girlfriend at the time, and it was like a cup made of bone china, which I really loved because it had a Celtic pattern on it, like you know what you want to call it, Viking, Pictish, you know what I mean. I use the term Celtic loosely. Well, I bought it in Wales, you know, when it was like a Wales type Celtic thing on it, and I paid quite a bit for it. It was a nice little cup. It was real bone china, and it was on a sideboard in a back room where my brother lives now in Bromborough, and I was on my own. There was no one else in the room, and the cup was empty on the side, on this like what we used to call a sideboard, right? And I'm not exaggerating, man. I just, for something just said, look at the cup. You know, I just looked at the cup on the sideboard, and I just seen it in front of my eyes, right? There was no one else in the room. There was no pieces of string or nothing like that. I saw it slide along the flipping sideboard until it fell off the edge and smashed on the floor. Right? I seen that with my eyes, right? Could it have been a fallen angel? Could it have been a Freemason using the air and manipulating the air to push the item? I don't know. All I know is, like, I loved that cup. You know what I mean? I sort of loved it because, you know, I bought it in Wales for starters, and it had, you know, a sort of nice pattern on it, like. But it just smashed on the floor, as if something, you know, wanted me to say, that's over, like, you know what I mean? Well, I seen it for myself slide across a smooth surface, and just fall off the thing and smash, right? So that was a supernatural thing. I don't know what the hell it was, right? All I know is, could have been people, could have been Freemasons. Anyone got any feedback on that one? Give us a shout, right? Okay. Right, so man, the most ghostly experience I've ever had in my life, right? I was in my bedroom on my own in Bromborough, listening to a cassette tape of Gustav Holst. You know Holst, the Planets. And I don't know if anyone out there has heard the piece of music on that album, or you know that suite, Gustav Holst, the Planets suite. I think it's the Neptune piece, and if you listen to it, it's got quite a ghostly. You know, the end of it, it's got like women's voices all going like, ooh. Now, I wasn't stoned, right? I wasn't on drugs. I know I've done some speeches where I've been on magic mushrooms or LSD and stuff like that, right? I swear I was completely straight. I was completely straight. Now, was this during, this was probably before I believed in God, right? This was probably before I realised that there was a real God, okay? Because this is, since I believed in God, guys, none of that stuff has ever spooked me, or I've never had anything frighten me or anything, you know what I mean? It's weird, like, gives you the kind of, the armour of God, you know what I mean? The principalities are just completely helpless. I get spooked, I get things attacking me and stuff, I get all kinds of little mad stuff, like, when I'm asleep in the darkness, and like that thing spitting at me in the cupboard or whatever. I still get little sort of things that are sort of trying to do me head in and that, but because I believe in God, it's like, it's futile. But this experience, I've got to say, really had me completely, like, I don't know, I can't explain it, right? I'm listening to The End of the Planets, the Neptune piece, and you can hear the, you know that way the music has these ghostly women singing, like, and all I remember is kind of just enjoying the music on a cassette tape. It wasn't a CD, it was, you know, it was just a cassette tape. And I just went into this trance, right? And I was in Bromborough, which is on the Wirral, and the place called Bidston Hill is about almost 10 miles from Bromborough total. Like, must be maybe 8 miles away. The distance between Bromborough, you want to check it out on Google. The distance between Bromborough and Bidston Hill, and not actually Bidston Hill, but a graveyard right by Bidston Hill called Flaybrick Cemetery, right? Now, I'm not the kind of guy, I'm not a goth or nothing like that, I'm not into all that stuff with the graves and all. I've got my own kind of angle on it, you know, like a photographer and stuff like that, but I don't do, you know, I don't do any of the necromancing or, you know what I mean. I'm sitting there in my bedroom, and I don't know, I was lying on a bed, I was lying on a bed actually, with my lights off, listening to the Neptune piece. Then as the women's voices kind of came into the piece of music, because I love that thing, I love The Planets by Holst. I think it's you know, a brilliant piece of work, like, you know what I mean. But anyway, I'm listening to that, and all I remember is being on my bed, just go like sucked into a void. It's never happened to me before, and it has never happened to me since, right? And I wasn't intoxicated, and I wasn't drunk, and I wasn't imagining things. I got sucked into this void, and next thing I know, I'm in the cemetery in Bidston Hill, walking along, surrounded by these chicks that I can only describe as dead girls. And they all had like nighties, or you know, the kind of things that they wear when they bury people in coffins and stuff. They were all dressed like nighties, and they were all they had this eerie look in the faces. The faces were pale, and their eyes were straight. It was a bit like, you know, them. What's that? There was a program on BBC, and some of them were undead. They were people who were dead, but they were still like trapped in the living world. And their eyes look like they got like slides, you know, like flipping you know, like instead of like look like blue or brown eyes, they look sort of like whitey, you know, and they've got pupils and stuff, but they got that weird like vampire-ish look about them, you know what I mean? I don't know. But these weren't wicked or sinister to me or having a go at me or anything like. But I'm like in this graveyard, and they were all running round me. They were actually calling me, they weren't calling me Bruce, they were calling me Apollo for some strange reason. I don't know why, I've got no idea what that was about, you know what I mean. But they were all running round me, like playing hide and seek behind the gravestones and everything, going, Apollo, Apollo. And it was all echoey and dreamy and it's like something out of a film, you know what I mean. And one of them actually came right up to me and she looked at me in the face, and I was looking at her face thinking, she's dead. But I was speechless. I was completely speechless. I was thinking, I was just in my bedroom 1 minute listening to a cassette tape. Now I'm walking around in a graveyard with all these, like, what looks like dead women or dead girls. You know, teenagers, ghosts. One of them came right up to me, looked me in the eyes, and she actually grabbed hold of my hand and started leading me. She held my hand and started walking, and I could feel it, like, chill, cold. This hand holding my hand, she was almost transparent. Do you know what I mean? And they would lead me along this path, and I know where the path is in the grave. I actually put a video on my old channel of that path a while back. Like, you know, I can actually, you know, go through my videos and show you the place again. If anyone's interested, if anyone comes back to me and wants to speak about it, like, it's up to yourselves, right? Bear in mind, I believe in God and nothing frightens me and all that kind of stuff. But I have to say, I definitely saw these entities all running around the graveyard, playing hide and seek and laughing with each other and that, basically. There was no males there. That was the weird thing about it, guys. They were all females, right? And they all had, like, nighties on, like, you know, nightgowns, you know, like, when you know, like... But anyway, one of them held my hand and lead me along, and I could look at the other ones. They were peeping, they were playing, like, hide and seek and peeping at me over gravestones and stuff. And then the last thought in my head was like, oh shit, I've died here. I've died in my bed. And I'm not going to be able to get back. I'm going to have to stay here with these for some strange reason. And I was starting to sort of like get a bit like, you know, disturbed about it. And then next thing I know, I just went back, and I was back in my bed. Back in my bedroom thinking, oh, thank goodness for that. I was like, I was either dreaming or something, but it wasn't a dream, guys. I was completely awake. It was like my spirit was taken from the bedroom for a short while, you know. But they didn't frighten me. They weren't attacking me. They weren't being cruel. They weren't being menacing. They were just running around playing like kids do in school. You know what I mean? Right? Now, and the music was still on. It was still just like ending. Like, it was like a time warp for like, must have been about 5 minutes max that I was out of time. And when I got back into my bedroom, the track was carrying on from where it left off, that bit when the girls sing. That's the odd thing about it, like, is the planets seem to, like, trigger it off, like, you know, when the women sing in Neptune, like. So that's another experience I had, which I guarantee you, I'm telling the absolute truth, right? I'll rush into this now, because I've got, 55 minutes, because my videos tend to freeze if I don't, you know. But anyway, oh, yeah, experience. I was about 27, 26 years old. I was with my mates working on a scheme in the Nocturnal estate. It was a bright sunny day, right? I'd injured my ankles in a football match the day before, and I was having severe pain, right? I don't. You see, when I get something wrong with me, I don't go to the hospital. I've had cuts and all kinds of stuff, and I don't go to the hospital and get stitches and things. I let it heal myself. If I break a bone, I let it heal itself. Do you know what I mean? My family know I'm infamous for it. Like, I will not go to the hospital unless I'm in a coffin. Do you understand? I will not go to a hospital for nothing, because I do not trust them, like, right? Anyway, I'm playing a football match the day before in the park with all my friends, just kicking a ball around, you know, we were all tackling each other and everything, yeah? You know, because I used to love playing football, like. And I got this injury in my both ankles, and this is the weird thing about it, like, when we were actually playing and when I got changed at the end of the match, I didn't feel it. I didn't feel like I was injured. You know you're injured and you got to walk off the pitch. I was okay. I was still running around, kicking the ball and that. And then that night, it gets back to mine. At the time, I was living with an ex-girlfriend, right? And you know, my family situation, my soap opera, where I live with a woman and child kind of thing, like. And it gets back home to the house, right? And I was covered in mud. So I gets into the bath and washes all the mud off and everything, right? Next morning, I had to be in work the next day. And my alarm clock goes off at 5 in the morning, whatever it was. And I gets out of bed and goes to the stairs, ready to go down the staircase, to go downstairs, to get ready to go to work, like. And it was a dark morning and all that, like. And I steps on the step of the stairs and my ankle was in so much pain it shot up to my head. I don't know if anyone out there has felt that sensation, like. But both my ankles were knackered, but one of them was really severe, like. And as soon as I stepped on the top step, I just got this pain and it went right up to my head. I was like, ah! And I had to go back into the bedroom and ask the girl I was with, like, to help me down the stairs. It was that severe. I was like, you're going to have to help me get down the stairs, like, I've got to get to work, you know what I mean? And she bandaged my ankles, both of them, to try and strengthen it and everything, like, but it didn't do anything, and I had to walk around the 4 bridges, we call the 4 bridges, like, they were off, you know, because they were being modernised, so I had to walk all the way around Duke Street and all that, like, you know, it's like, you know, I couldn't take it was a long walk, let's put it that way, and I had to walk, like, literally, like 1 mile an hour, one step at a time, because it was so severe, the pain. But anyway, to cut a long story short, we eventually get to the Nocturnal estate on the Wirral where we were supposed to be doing work and that, like. And we were all had these shovels, like, just like chopping the edge of the grass and stuff, you know, like this lawn kind of thing, like. And there was all people around me, all my workmates and that, like. And one of my friends was actually working with me, like, he was standing next to me with his shovel, like. And you know and I had a black coat on at the time, like, and it was like, it was sort of dull. And I had to put working boots on, and both my ankles were in severe pain, do you get me, like? But anyway, the sun come out all of a sudden, and you know when it heats you up and you're wearing black garments and you feel the heat of the sunshine, it just suddenly came out like the sunshine and that, like. I just looked at my mate and said, I think I'm going to be sick, right? And I turned to face, like, if I hadn't faced the right way, I'd have fell flat onto a concrete floor. Well, I just managed to turn in the direction where the grass was, where it was like a lawn in front of me, like. And all I remember is blacking out completely, right? And just, you know, when you fall over, you go like that with your hands or something, so you can sort of kind of stop yourself having an impact. I just remember my whole body go, like, poof, like, my face went like, whack, into the ground. I just went right into the ground, fell face first into the ground. And my mate told me afterwards that he said I was having a fit, what we call an epileptic fit or something, yeah. That's what his opinion of me there was, you were having a fit, Bruce, you know what I mean? And you were on the floor struggling to get up. But my hands were by my sides, remember? I didn't even have a chance to go like that, right? But when I hit the deck, from my perspective, all I remember is going boom, flat, into the ground. My face was like, like that, you know. And from my perspective, right, I saw a tunnel of light. I felt like my face had pins and needles, like someone was sticking needles in my face, you know, like this horrible sensation in my face. And I saw a tunnel of light. And then I was like, looking up at the area where it was supposed to be, like, had all changed. And it was just this little girl walking towards me with blonde hair and a polka dot dress, you know what polka dot is, like, you know, like sort of blue with little white dots all over it. This little, like, she must have been about 4 or 5-year-old girl, coming towards me, singing, and she had flowers in her hands, like daffodils. She had a bunch of daffodils. I seen it as clear as a, you know what I mean, I'm not exaggerating here, guys. If any of this is like false or lies or anything, right, a hole will open and I'll be swallowed up, you know what I mean? That's how lies she is like. But I saw this little girl coming towards me, and the whole atmosphere was bliss, right? And you'd hear accounts on YouTube of people who have died, who have been evil or whatever, that demons come to get them and stuff like that, and they have to like ask Jesus for forgiveness and stuff before them demons disappear. Well, I didn't see any of that, right? And as far as I'm concerned, for about 30 seconds to a minute, I experienced death. Something, you know, whatever that would happen to my ankle or my pain or my blood clot or whatever happened to my head. I collapsed for real. It was like a hemorrhage or something, I don't know. You know what I mean? It was like a proper, like, I blacked out, let's put it that way. But all I remember seeing this little girl coming towards me, bright sunny day, singing to herself. I don't know what she was singing, but she was like, da, 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 you know, just walking towards me, ever so peaceful. And she was just looking at me with these flowers in her hands, man, with these bright yellow daffodils and that, like. And I'm looking up at her thinking, who are you? And where am I? You know, I was thinking, who are you? And she reminded me of my kid sister, to be honest, when she was little, you know what I mean? She had like blonde hair and that, like. And she was being really sweet and friendly and just coming towards me, like, singing, right? And it was as if to say, like, your time is not now, Bruce, you know what I mean? You've got to go back, like. And, so the next thing I just remember seeing, I acknowledged it, I seen it for real. I was like, well, who's that little girl? Where'd she come from? And she's singing. You know, it was just proper bliss, peace, you know what I mean? It was like peaceful. And I felt like a child myself at that moment. I didn't feel like an adult, right? Next thing, she comes up to me, she looks right up to my face with these flowers in her hands, like, as if to say, she didn't say anything, she just carried on singing. And then I just went like, I felt that sensation in my face again, the pins and needles. I see the tunnel light go, like in reverse. And then next thing you know, I open my eyes, and I'm on the floor, and with my face still in the ground, kind of thing, still like that, I'm not even looking up. And I looked up like that, expecting to see the little girl, thinking, and she wasn't there, you know what I mean? I was like, where did she go? That's how I was seeing in my head. Remember, my mate who was standing next to me said I had an epileptic fit. He thought I had an epileptic fit. That's what he saw, right? I seen that, right? So I'm looking around and there's no little girl whatsoever within any sight, you know what I mean? So I didn't say nothing at the time. I just looked up, like, and my mate was standing above me, like, and he goes, like, are you alright? I was like, what happened? He said, you just collapsed and had a fit. He thought I had an epileptic fit. And I was like, I was like completely confused, thinking, where's the little girl gone with the flowers? So I don't know why, man, when I go for these things, I always see females, you know what I mean? Like, what's going on there, man? Whoa, sun's just going out blinding me now, like. But yeah, so I reckon I saw the other side there for a few seconds, like, you know what I mean, for a minute maybe, I don't know. Just move this camera around. Um, well, yeah, right. So that's straight up that, guys, right? And you know, like I say to me mate, they even said for months later they were saying, you know, when you're not that fit, Bruce, and that like, and I was like, I didn't have a fit, you know, but how could I say to them? I was on the other side, guys. I was seeing that I was in bliss. I was dead for a while. Whatever happened to me there, like, that's my only explanation for it, right? Alright, that's another experience, okay? Anyone got any descriptions? Anyone got any replies to that? Give me feedback. Alright, and I've got one more. When my dad died, right? When my old man died in hospital, right? He was in hospital, he'd had lung cancer or whatever, and he knew his days were numbered, he knew it was, you know, there was not like any difficulty with that and that, like. But the night he actually passed on, right, he died in a hospital, right? My sister comes to the house and says, he's dead, you know, he's died and that, like. And the rest of the family, my mum, my brother, my sisters, or my sister that was there at the time, they all went to the hospital to go and see his body in the hospital, right? You know, like, you know, you got the right to go and see them, like, straight away, like. And I decided to stay home. Well, it was that following day, you know what I mean? We got told like 4 o'clock in the morning or something. I can't remember the time zone, you know what I mean? But the fact is, I decided to stay in. I was like, I don't want to go. And you know, I know what my old man was like. He would have rather have died in his own bed, if you know what I mean. But he died in a hospital bed, right? Both my parents died in a hospital, and he would have rather have died at home. Do you get me, like? But anyway, the point is, they all went out to the hospital with my mum and that, like, to go and see him in the, you know, in the Aussie, like. And I stayed at home. And I was just watching the telly in the living room. And in the house, this is in Brombrett on the Wirral, right? In the house, when the wind was blowing, or it was a windy night or something, the letterbox would knock on its own. You know, like, you know what I mean? You know, you got a letterbox that, like, it knocks on the door kind of thing because the wind's blowing and that, like. But that particular night, when they had all gone to see my old man's body in the hospital, yeah, I'm sitting down watching TV, and there's no wind outside, you know what I mean? It wasn't windy at all, right? And I heard the letterbox go, or, you know, just like it knocked, right? And I thought, oh, it must be them back from the hospital. So it gets up and look, and the front door's got windows where if there's anyone standing outside the front door, you can see the shadows and that, like. I stands up and the first thing I realise, there's no one outside, there's no shadow. Right. So I went like, maybe they're standing at the side of the door or whatever, like. So I opened the front door. I'm standing there looking and there's no one there. Right, there's clearly no one there, like, it's silent. And there's no wind blowing, there was no draft or wind that made the letterbox knock, right. So I'm thinking, wow, am I imagining that, like? And then I just heard this thing in front of me, like as if something was in front of me, as if to say, step aside, stand aside, Bruce. I could feel it, I could feel the presence, I could actually feel the spirit in front of me, so it was asking me for some reason to step aside. So I stepped aside like that, and then I could feel and sense the spirit go past me. You know, when you get like a chill, you get like a little sort of, whoa, what was that? It's the soul, you know what I mean? It's the soul or the spirit, like. But I just seen this, like, I didn't see it with my eyes. I felt it go past me like that and up the stairs into the bedroom where my dad used to sleep, you know what I mean? I seen it sort of thing, I could feel it. I was thinking, no way, could that like be my arm man's spirit? Like, he sort of like, he just wanted to get back to his bed for a while, like, you know, before, like, but it knocked on the door, you know what I mean? So, I don't know what you want to make of that, guys. That was another real experience where I sensed it, I felt the spirit go past, like, it must have been just a little, you know, because I'm sure when people die in hospital, they don't want to be there, do they, you know what I mean? They'd rather be in bed, like, you know what I mean? So, anyway, I think I'll wrap it up there, like, guys. I think it's quite interesting. I'd love to hear some feedback from anyone who got any similar, likewise, experiences, like. But I just thought I'd get that out. Like, there's a couple of other things I would add, you know, and talk about. But I want to keep it down to the hour kind of thing, like, you know. So, anyway, any thoughts? any, you know. But the point is, guys, I believe in the Holy Spirit. I believe in God itself, right? And it tells us not to fear these things. But we're living in a time, guys, where a lot of these fallen angels are going to be starting taking the mickey out of people and trying to fool you and stuff. And mediums are going to be like, you know, you got them magicians and stuff doing all that stuff. They do deals with the fallen angels, the Hell's Angels, you know, Hell's Angels, like who the Queen seems to like wave at, like, you know. But any thoughts, any observations, anyone out there got anything to say? It really doesn't matter, does it, if you don't? Getting used to the no reactions, like, but if you want to respond, it's because I'm sure YouTube are clamping down on everyone, and, you know, President Obama and David Cameron are just like, you know, they're turning the world topsy-turvy, aren't they, between them, like. Anyway, thanks for watching. I know it's been a bit of a long, laborious speech, but every one of these stories is completely true, guys. I'm not exaggerating, I'm not lying. I'd just love to hear your feedback. Anyone got any ideas about it? Like, thanks for watching.